Yeah, my name's Chef T. I'm a chef, head chef, and owner of at the Food Plug HTX. I'm 35. Pretty much, we specialize in catering, food events, different type of pop-ups, food trucks, stuff like that. I've pretty much probably been doing this for the last about 5 years. I want to say take it seriously. It kind of started off as me just cooking for family and friends and stuff like that. And as it kind of like got popular, word of mouth spread, and I began to, get a lot of clients and stuff like that. It kind of got to a point where I just wanted to cook for friends, but people wanted it
Gotcha.
on regular, and it kind of turned to a business.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, definitely we'll get into the business stuff, but just to kind of paint the picture as far as like the beginning part, kind of, are you
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
Houston area? What kind of
yeah,
kid
yeah.
were
I'm from
you?
Houston, originally born and raised Houston, Southwest Houston, A-Leaf.
Okay.
Um, yeah, been there my whole life. Moved around, stayed on the north side. So I kind of got to experience both sides of Houston.
All right. What high schools you went to?
I went to Eisenhower.
All
It's
right.
on the north side, Dwight D. Eisenhower. Yeah,
Yeah, I know
like right off
Eisenhower.
yeah,
I just
Acres
interviewed
Homes.
a barber that just graduated from Eisenhower last year.
Yeah, Acres Homes.
Cool, cool. So yeah, what about high school and everything? Were you like a athletic kid, smart kid, kind of to
Yeah,
yourself?
yeah. Yeah, I played football and basketball. I kind of was more thinking I was gonna go towards some of that, but like as I got older, you kind of grow and figure out what you want to do. Last thing I
Gotcha.
thought about, was gonna be like a chef or anything.
Gotcha. Well, you was good enough in sports to like be considering offers and stuff, or was that not
Yeah,
even really?
yeah. My sister thought so. My family thought so. My dad, he actually played football in college. At one
Okay.
point, he was actually playing for the Oilers, but he ended up having like a little injury. So that was his thing. He wanted us to really play football.
Gotcha. Okay, so you had a dad in the NFL for a little
Yeah,
while at
yeah,
least.
yeah. He was like, what is it like? I guess like the cancer reserves or some shit like that.
Gotcha.
Before
You
he
were
kind of
you
just
remember any of that time, like growing up and stuff?
Nah. I was a kid. I was little. I really don't remember that much. I just remember seeing his uniforms and stuff. I remember, that Oilers, classic Oilers color, the little pants,
Yeah.
the bright white stripes and stuff. So yeah, I remember him coming home with that. But yeah, he didn't get to
Gotcha.
really see his career blossom though.
Yeah. Shout out pops, man. What's your
Yeah,
dad name?
Mike, Mike Price, Michael Price.
All right. Shout out Big Mike, man.
Yeah, that's what they call him.
Gotcha. So yeah, at that point, like in high school and everything, did you have an idea at all of like what you wanted to get into, or did you always think about cooking and stuff?
Nah. I never thought about cooking. Cooking just came about from kind of moved out early. I moved out about like 17. So, just being on your own, you got to cook. And I really kind of got into cooking more when I had my first daughter around like 21. And it was just
Gotcha.
me, her. So, you got to cook for her every day. You got to feed her. I couldn't just McDonald's her out.
All
So,
right.
over time, it just started me cooking for her, cooking for us at home. And, it just developed over time.
Gotcha. Yo, can you can hear me all right now?
Yeah, I can.
I think you might be a little far from the mic or something because it sounds like it's a little muffled or something over it.
Okay.
You all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh yeah, what you say it again for me just because it was chopping out a little bit.
Oh no, I was just saying, I really kind of learned how to more, cook different stuff, just cooking for like my daughter and shit.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, after high school and everything, you what age did you kind of have a kid and stuff?
Like 21.
Okay, and what were you doing at that point? Did you have just a regular job somewhere or like?
Around that time, I was still kind of, figuring it out. I was still figuring it out, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. At one point, I actually had like a clothing business. That was like my first major trying to do something entrepreneurial stuff, and it kind of turned out good. But after a while, I guess I just lost the passion for it. Some things are, I guess, just temporary to get you where you're going. Some things,
Definitely.
you feel like you're interested in it, and then, it changes with time. So,
Yeah.
clothing, I ain't really have a passion for it, but it was just something I did as a hobby.
But during that time though, how you was paying bills? Like, what was your day job?
Day job, shoot, just clothes.
Really? Like, you was making enough off the brand to support yourself at that point?
Yeah, clothes, just clothes. But I had like other merchandise like slips, stickers. It was like sandals, stuff like that. The brand was kind of big, but people still be asking me about the clothes now. I just really ain't had time for it. It was too much time consuming.
Yeah, so touch on that a little bit because I'm sure there's a lot of people that have that interest as far as like building a clothing brand and stuff. So if you was making enough money to support yourself, I feel like you might have a gym or two for somebody out there. So kind
Yeah,
of touch on
so
that, like
it
getting
was
started
mainly about just networking, you know what I'm saying, knowing people, getting people to model it and stuff like that. And it was pretty much like I had like a little name for myself already, so I have like a vast group of people that know me, you know, a bunch of different
from
backgrounds.
like
And
sports and stuff.
no, just from being in Houston, just knowing me from Houston. And at one point, I had like a regular little Instagram page, just myself, and it was like
Gotcha,
very popular. So I just transformed that popularity into okay, well, I have a shirt now, and then that
gotcha,
shirt takes off, and now I got a hat. I had like a Space City hat. It was super popular. Everybody still blowed me up for it, you know, 6 7 years later. But
And
yeah, I
what's
just ain't
the
had
what's the
time
brand
for it.
name?
It was LDGH clothing. You still pull it up.
Okay. So yeah, how like so you had that idea, you just start like printing t-shirts yourself? Did you get a
Yeah,
machine or
dye
kind of like take through
sublimation.
the
Yeah, dye sublimation, and I wasn't doing like screen printing. I was more like high quality fabrics. So the color pretty like it's vast. You know what I'm saying? And at this time, people were doing like this is like Wiz Khalifa time, stoner clothing stuff like that. So once you get that little niche and that group of people, as long as the design is fire, it's gonna go far.
Gotcha. So okay, so you had the page that you had, did you do any like ads or promotion or anything to grow your page, or was really just like you being in the area, people knowing you?
Yeah, just being active, just being, being in all the spots, wearing the clothes, having it, and people being able to see it, they want it.
Gotcha. Okay, on the clothing, did you never run any like paid ads at all, or it was literally all off of word of mouth and everything?
Yeah, it was just off the streets.
Okay. So yeah, all right. So you built that to what would you say like what was like the high point of like income wise with that?
That was just probably like a couple thousand, couple $1,000. Because really, it's like, yeah, you're making that money, but with clothing, it's just such a you have to put so much back into it, whether it's shipping,
Expenses, overhead.
distributors, you got to make stuff from scratch. All that pretty much over time is kind of costly. And if you're not having enough revenue coming in constantly to help that outflow, you kind of find yourself in the red. So
Gotcha.
it was cool, but it was just like sometimes you have like a lot of stuff that goes not on schedule with clothing. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
But
So yeah, you were saying pretty much just the expenses it wasn't worth it for you. But like, just for somebody listening like that may want to get into clothing and stuff, like any tips as far as like making that work?
just focus on one single design. You know what I'm saying? Once you get your first design, you put all your effort into that, build it up, get it as popular as you can, and off that hype you ride to your next one.
Gotcha. And yeah, shout out the brand one more time. Maybe somebody, you might get a handful of, random orders or something.
LDGH clothing.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, take me through at that point, like you was getting overwhelmed with the clothing thing. Like, what was like the transition from that to was it cooking immediately, or did you have something between there?
Nah, I had a job, kind of like my first real job, but it was like man, it was like working on a trash truck or something. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? The worst job, the worst thing you can do.
I
And
heard they pay good though.
nah, I guess so.
Wasn't good.
Not good enough to work with that dumpster juice.
Gotcha.
You don't want to be
Gotcha.
there too long.
How
So
much you was making doing that?
probably like $12 an hour or something. Not
Oh yeah, I
really
thought it was
working.
like 18, 20 or something.
Nah. Now if you the driver, you gonna make. You're gonna get a check. But if you just the guy on the back and you doing like 1,000 houses in a day, you're really kind of like tearing your body down for a little or no money. And
Gotcha.
that was pretty much my last straw after that shit. I was like, I can't work for nobody else.
So did you started cooking while you was working at that job, or you
Nah,
quit and
nah, nah,
then?
nah, nah. Nah, at this time, I was like I said, I was still cooking for my family and stuff, like not like getting paid for it.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of take me through the conception or the seed that planted that, the idea of doing the cooking stuff, the food truck and everything.
Uh, I think it was like Thanksgiving, maybe like 2018, 2019. I had cooked for my family. I made like some seafood pasta, lobster, shrimp, stuff like that. And pretty much after I made it, it was like everybody just kept asking me about it, and I was posting on Instagram. Like I said, my Instagram was kind of popping, so people would see it. And now you got people saying, damn, I want some of that. I want some of that, instead of blowing me up. So I was like, all right, well, since everybody asking me about it and y'all keep saying y'all want it, I'm going to have it this day. I'm going to have it this day. And people pulled up. A lot of people from Instagram. I want to say 90% of my business came from Instagram and word of mouth. People on Instagram see it, and then once they try it, they tell somebody, and then it goes like that. And Instagram opens you up to like a super wide audience of people that you might not deal with or see on a regular basis, but people see something and they got money, they want to spend their money on what they want. And it just kind of blossomed from there.
Okay, so yeah, kind of walk me through that first thing you sold. Like you did the Thanksgiving thing. What was like the first thing that you sold, like the meal and what you charged, kind of thing?
All right, so like my first kind of popular item was I had this thing called like a Loch Ness baked potato, Loch Ness Monster, and it was pretty much like a giant baked potato, chopped chicken breast, shrimp. It had a whole lobster tail on it, bacon. It was just, it was kind of over the top. You know what I'm saying? It was really over the top, but it was popular enough to where it kind of really like took off. I started it. I was probably selling that back then like $20 for that baked potato. Is a steal. I mean, a lobster tail by itself is $10. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, so that kind of like propelled it, and I started having like a lot of companies and stuff hit me up about catering their lunches, and they order 20, 30, 40 of these, and yeah, it just took off right there. That was my first thing. That was the first major plate that I made, Loch Ness baked potato, and man, I rode that wave for like 6 months on that. Then I started like really taking it serious and making a menu.
Gotcha. So off just the baked potato, like what was like the first sale you made, like where you actually got paid for it, and then kind of take me through like maybe a good week you had selling just the potatoes.
So like the first, few times I sold a potato, it was probably like, people I knew from Instagram. So they'll buy like one or two. But like that first introduction to get them to come back, and then like they'll hit me up, hey, can you cater our lunch? Oh yeah, okay. Well, it's like 40 people, 40, 50 people. They all want baked potatoes, so like $20 a piece. It's $1,000. And this is just me not even really like at that time being a chef. It's just me being a home cook and figuring.
One product really.
Yeah. So it kind of took off. So for it, I was just having people hit me up strictly for that, 30, 40 of them at a time. And
Gotcha.
and then I started making like the pasta and stuff like that. And it just went from there. The menu developed like tremendously.
Gotcha. So on that though, like with you just doing the potato in the beginning, like would you say for somebody just getting into cooking, chefing type of stuff, like would you suggest they pick one product and like, just focus on mastering that, selling that, or having a wider menu, providing options and stuff?
Yeah, I want to say, if you look at it, when you go most places, they got like a small menu. They got their things that they specialize in, and they've sold it 40, 50, 60 years. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like talk about, certain chefs like, okay, well, you just got one thing, you're one hit wonder. But I ain't gonna lie, once you focus on that one thing and you master it, it doesn't matter what else you do after that, because you're gonna consistently keep new people coming in to try that one thing. So yeah, you focus on one thing, and as you grow, people are gonna want more from you. And at that time, you just slowly bring them into more things that you like. I don't cook nothing that I personally don't eat. So anything
Gotcha.
that I introduce to the menu is something like I'm preference to, or I've done 100 times. So it's like it's nothing for me to do. And then once people try it, everybody's not gonna like the same thing. So I still have a wide variety, but I had to pick like 5 things to kind of master first
Gotcha.
before I could do anything else.
So in the beginning, would you say like would you advise somebody like it'll be easier to sell just the baked potato by itself, or it'll be easier if you had a menu for people to kind of decide what they want in the beginning?
Yeah, I want to say, you want to give people at least like 3 things to choose from.
Gotcha.
Because everybody gonna have like a different thing. Some people they can't have this and that. So yeah, I try to choose like 3 things, and I believe my first 3 initial things was it was the potato, and then I did the pasta, and then damn, I can't remember the other thing right now. But yeah, really the
Gotcha. All
potato
right.
and the pasta kind of took me where I needed to go.
And on the potato, like before you started doing anything else, did you have like a sale or any type of discount thing that you was doing to get more people?
No, I
So
ain't even.
you literally just had a page that kind of just like sold everything for you, kind of.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
I ain't even know nothing about all that at that time. I was still kind of figuring it out.
Okay, so the Instagram was like your base of like whatever I want to do, I'll kind of make a little bit to start
Hmm.
off Instagram.
And how I would do it is like, at this point, this is kind of like before food influences. So you have to influence people yourself. You have to post that on your gram. You have to make it look entertaining, make it look like it's good for them to be
Right.
interested. And once you start getting all those comments and people are like, shit, well, I want to try it, I want to try it. All right, well, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have it on Friday. It's $20 if you want to try it. Go ahead and pre-order. Because at first I kind of got into it. I cook like 50 baked potatoes. Well, if I don't sell all 50 of them, it's kind of a food loss, it's money loss and everything. So I wanted to kind of narrow down all the wastage and focus on the profit. And that way I
Gotcha.
start making people pre-order. So I'm not just, dry cooking something.
All right. And like at that point, like before you even got into pastas and everything, like would you say you was making enough off just the potatoes to support yourself, or do you feel like you needed to add something else to make a good enough living off of it?
I think with food, you got to constantly keep new people coming in. That's really how you keep the business going. If you don't get anybody new, you know, everybody ain't gonna be wanting to bake potato every day. If they bought one yesterday, I ain't gonna
Yeah,
get one
definitely.
tomorrow. So it's just like, yeah, I might have been making enough, but I had to keep still building up. You got to keep still promoting it and going and going because, like I say, you have to keep new money coming in or you're going to fail. Like most restaurants and businesses, they fail within the first 2 years because you got that first initial support. After 6 months, it's not really worth it to the people. They stop coming.
Gotcha. And cause what you said, you had the Instagram before you started the clothing brand, and then built on the chef stuff on there too. Like,
Hmm. And that's
what?
pretty much how people follow. They follow from like, damn, you selling clothes, you selling food now, And
Right.
I post the food on the clothing page, and that would make people like even more interested. Like, damn, I want some of that too. Can I get a hat too? Yeah, come on.
Gotcha. So what, like, before you even got into clothing, what would you say like your following was at that point? Like, before you started selling clothes?
Like, how many followers, or just like where was the following from?
Yeah, or like what, like how many followers you had at that point before you started the brand?
Probably like 2-3 thousand.
Okay, and then after the clothing brand, before you got into the chef stuff, where was you at?
Probably like about 5-6 thousand.
So the
Not
food
too
stuff
high.
really took you from like five, 6 to where you at now?
Yeah. But also, the food page was brand new. I started it from zero.
Okay,
I,
so this
I
wasn't your old page that you
nah.
Oh, okay.
I still got the old clothing page and stuff. But the
Oh,
food
okay.
page, I started just like brand new. I kind of started it. I didn't start it like to sell food. I started it as just I wanted to cook and post my food on there. And
Like a food enthusiast.
yeah. At this time,
Gotcha.
everybody got some food. You want to post your food on Instagram. I'm cooking every night for my daughter, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna post this, and people start seeing it, and then I just start putting a number on it.
Yeah, I seen on your Instagram you say you got like 20 million views across platforms. Is that's
No, it's
YouTube or
just
Instagram?
just from Instagram. I got 30 million plus.
Really?
My top three reels are each 6 million, 6.9, and maybe like 6.5. Just the top three, and
Yeah, I
I
saw
got
those pinned on there.
yeah, and I got a lot of reels. A few of them that are at a million. So
So yeah, kind of touch on that a little bit, like advice as far as making content and stuff. Like, you didn't grow a page pretty, pretty big in a, how what's the time frame you say you grew your page from like?
took a while. Took longer than I think it should. At some point, Instagram kind of shadow bans you sometimes. Like if you use certain hashtags and they're banned, your post won't get as much traction. I also learned,
Mhm.
like the shorter the post, the more traction it get. It's different for certain creators. Now, if you already have 20, 30,000 followers, and you can put a long post and you're gonna get those likes. But if you're trying to come up, it's like the shorter the post, the better. You want to go like 4 seconds on the reel. You just want something that's quick. It's gonna help you hit the algorithm and kind of conserve and focus on your hashtags.
and that's how I was
Gotcha.
able to get those reels to kind of go like do millions.
Okay, yeah, kind of touch on that too, the hashtags and stuff, because I've heard of shadow banning, but kind of talk about the hashtags limiting you, because I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, so sometimes like I make a post and like it doesn't get seen. Like it'll say like 0 views and it'll be like for a few hours. So I had to learn like if you go click on those hashtags that you use, it'll say like, well, this hashtag we're limiting such and such from it. We're limiting views from this post. So it's like you don't know that, you just putting hashtags. You don't know which ones they decide to ban. I start posting on, touching on them, and then you'll see which hashtags are more popular or whatever. And that's how I start finding out, like, okay, well, I'm banned. Let me take this one off here. Don't post this one on the next time. And then I'll post a post without those hashtags, and it'll do great. It'll do numbers. So
Yeah, that's a gem. I ain't never heard of that, but like definitely now that you said it, I'm gonna be aware of like checking each hashtag before I use them for stuff.
mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay, so about how much were you posting a day, like in the beginning compared to now?
Man, now
Maybe not a day, but like a week or whatever your posting
no,
consistency.
I was posting like a lot. I was really kind of consistent. I think the more you get where you going, I don't want to say you slow down, but it's like now I'm so busy, I might cook like 40 plates and not post them at all. It's
Gotcha.
like I ain't had time really, but before I used to post, everything. I want to make sure you see everything every day. I'm posting, and I try to get back on that to get it a little more consistent, but also like posting on a regular all the time, that kind of starts to ban you too. Like it kind of blocks your post from getting traction. So I try to
What you
leave
mean
it.
by that?
Like I have problems sometimes, like over posting to
Like
where
how much would you have to post for it to get to that point though? Like,
nah, even like if I did like 3, 4 posts and I ain't realize like I'm using these hashtags so much, like I think every few months I kind of change which hashtags I use because they kind of get burnt up, it kind of burns it up. Like after a while, you kind of can notice this with Instagram and so I just try to reuse them. Like some hashtags, they're real good. You'll use them, post might blow up like instantly, you know what I'm saying? And then some, like you might not get a like, a view, or nothing like happens from it. So you just gotta,
okay, what you say?
I would say, just gotta just be mindful of that type of shit. Like you'll notice your post, you'll see the difference. Like on my page, I had at one point is like each post 5, 2, 3,000, and then you'll see a post with like 3 likes.
Gotcha.
Ain't nobody see this,
Okay, do you have any that you know off top of your head, or like good ones or bad ones not to use?
Nah. I got like a list of it, but it's in my phone.
Gotcha. Or yeah, any just off top for chefs listening, good ones that work for you, good ones that you should stay
Oh,
away
good
from?
ones at work. Yeah, like just put reels. Just the hashtag reels is probably one of the most popular hashtags, and probably has like 100. So that's gonna get you in front of like those eyes. Foodie is a good one. Foodies. Try to associate your city with the hashtag Houston foodies. Texas foodies. Dallas, stuff like that. You
Gotcha.
want to link in as many keywords to you as possible. You know what I'm saying? Whatever area you in, whatever your expertise is, home chef, caterer, this and this. You want to add those because people at home are actually like searching those hashtags looking for people in those certain sets. So, you know,
Gotcha.
be mindful of that.
Okay, and like, so you have a food truck now?
Mm-hmm.
So like up to getting the food truck and everything, like before that, was it all just like pre-order, deliver on the weekends, or people picking up from you, or how was that?
It was like pre-order. Like at first, I would only cook Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You know what I'm saying? Other days, I got my life. I still got. This ain't like my career at this point. But it's just enough to get some money. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I cook, and it'll just be like you pre-order, pick it up, or I deliver. And then like on the weekends, people they got to the point where they wanted to kind of see what all I could cook. So they want to book me for caterings on the weekend and stuff like that. It might be a small event, family event, stuff like that, and then it ends up blossom into, can you cater a wedding? Can you do this? And I guess I can. I
Gotcha.
believe I can. I haven't done it, but shoot, I think I can, and that just grows over time.
Okay, so about like right now, what would you say like if you had to break down percentages of like like where your income come, like catering versus the food truck versus pre-order stuff, like, how would you break that down?
I want to say catering is like 60% of the business now, and that's primarily what I want to say. I want to focus on is like catering, because that's pretty much where most of the money at. Large scale catering, even minor catering. I go cater like an event, maybe 10 people, depending on what they want. Could be a few racks, a few thousand, a few hundred or something like that. So I'd
Gotcha.
rather just do that. If I can do catering every day, I wouldn't focus on selling plates or the food truck or nothing like that. But also you still have to access those people who don't want large scale catering but still want your food.
Gotcha. So yeah, like how did you do, like is all your catering stuff incoming, or do you do any like outreach marketing stuff yourself?
As far as like outreach, nah, I just use social, my business email in the bio, which is real good. People see you cook on there, and I get a lot of reaches from TikTok. Now I got a small following on there. I had a large page, but ended up getting banned, and so now I'm just starting out. But I only got like 21 followers, but I get emails every day from TikTok.
Gotcha. Do you know why you got canceled, or like?
Yeah, but it wasn't nothing to do with the food.
Oh, okay.
Nah,
Any tips in there? Like anything
nah,
that's
nah, nah,
helpful?
nah.
All
Just
right.
don't speak your mind on TikTok.
All right. Say no more.
Nah. I was
Say
in the
no more.
comments. A lot of people. It's a lot of little racist stuff on there. Not on my
Gotcha.
page, but you'll just see a post, and I'm in there like, damn, y'all racist as hell. But me saying, damn, y'all racist as hell,
Oh, the
they'll
bullying
report
thing.
me. Yeah, they'll
Gotcha.
report me like. So my page ended up
Damn.
getting banned.
Okay. So yeah, kind of like you got the food truck. Like talk me through like what was the thinking of getting the food truck when you was doing the plates and stuff? Like why didn't you think of like just doing the catering at that point, or like why was it food truck at that point?
Yeah, I don't think I was at that. I wasn't at that level yet. And the reason why I didn't even want. I wanted a food cart. I wanted something that people can walk up to. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can get business on Instagram, but also you're limited to just being dependent on that. And it's a lot of money out here that you can miss without a spot for people to come to.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of this stuff, people just see something somewhere and like, damn, let me try that. Let me just pull over. And you really need that. Like I said, you constantly have to have new people coming in to kind of sustain the business. So by doing that, it kind of takes me from being dependent on Instagram. Also, Instagram is a place where a lot of people say stuff, but they might not do it. Get 1,000 DMs, say 200 people actually follow through. Some people just want to talk to you, girls. They want to holler, oh, can you cook for me?
The
Are you spending some money? you
mm-hmm.
know so yeah, so like, you want to have a place that people that don't know about you can find out about you, and that's
Gotcha.
what having a stationary spot is. It gives you people that haven't seen you a chance to figure you out.
Okay, how much, if you don't mind sharing this stuff, like how much would you say you invested up front to like get the food truck and get it going and everything to where you was
um,
able to fully start?
yeah, you're gonna need at least like 10, 20 permits and stuff, all that type of stuff to be able to sell, serve, handle food. And also most of these trucks, it's like you got to build them out specifically for whatever you cooking. So
Right.
they need fryers, tables, sinks, stuff like that. And none of that is cheap. So most people, they kind of, they be in a position to get a loan or whatever. I didn't do any of that. I kind of just grinded it up, try to save as much as I can. I had a lot of people who came to me about business opportunities of opening a business or kind of co-running it, but they wasn't a chef. They wanted to go into business, but pretty much I'm gonna be doing all the work. You just put the
Mm-hmm.
money in and you waiting on your check, and I'm out here cooking on it. But I didn't want to do it that route, so I just took it. It takes longer sometimes to do it how you want to.
Definitely. Okay, and any advice as far as like the minimum you a person should pay for getting the food truck? Like don't go
Oh,
under
you can you
this.
can kind of you can kind of get like a little cart. As long as you got a car that can pull it, you can get a food cart. There's this place called Miko's Chicken in Houston. It's probably one of the biggest hot chicken places. They started with a
Okay.
a two-person cart. I used to pull up to them and get food from them. They just park it by the Galleria food truck. They didn't even have a car to pull it.
Gotcha.
Now they have multiple food trucks, businesses, restaurant, So yeah, about $5,000 maybe, and then sometimes it depends. Like if you know people, some people you may know might have access to some, people that you don't. Sometimes you
Gotcha.
gotta associate and network with people to kind of figure that out.
Definitely. And something else I'm just thinking about it because we was talking about it a second ago with the outreach thing, like something that maybe could be helpful for you because you already have so much income and like people reaching out to you. I see like online coaches talk about like DMing people that like your content or interact with your content and stuff and just throwing something out there. Like maybe you have a coupon or something for like, something to where you still make something, but it's a value to them. Like, hey, I saw you like this post. Here's a free cookie with the da da da. Like,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
maybe they don't, but it's better than like kind of leaving the lead there, because
Mm-hmm.
they liked it, so they obviously interested.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's something definitely like just thinking about it. You might make it a little extra something in that.
Yeah, yeah. And also like you gotta do stuff like that. Like a lot of the times people pull up to just get food. I give them free desserts, just to introduce them to the dessert because they don't know nothing about it. They haven't tasted it. So you can't expect them to buy it. But by me giving it to them for free, the next time, hey, can I buy 2-3 banana puddings? And it just goes like that. And you got to be able to, give away some shit to people. You got to give them something so they can know, they don't know what you got unless they see it. And sometimes people just got the money to spend that they came with.
And talk about that too, like as far as like in the beginning, like charging less or like did you charge less and kind of increase prices, or was it
Oh,
like you
oh
started
yeah,
high?
food was a little cheaper then. So right now everything is kind of high. Like I kind of seen the menu from when I first started, and it was like plates $10-15,
Couldn't make
stuff
no
like
money today.
yeah, stuff like that. I ain't gonna lie, my plates kind of range. I'm still not like on no overly expensive stuff. I got
Gotcha.
plates still from $15 up to like $50-$60, but that's like king crab, snow crab, lobsters, and stuff like that. But yeah, prices have changed a lot, especially like in the food industry. That's pushed a lot of people out that couldn't keep up that overhead monthly.
Gotcha. And kind of touch on like cause you started with potatoes and everything, like it kind of seemed like, you definitely like have like a passion for the cooking part, not just the business part. Kind of talk about like how you decided what direction to go in as far as like what you wanted to specialize in or focus on food wise.
I ain't have no direction. I let things just kind of happen. Like I ain't know. I think during the pandemic kind of is what really pushed me to that next level. Like during the pandemic was probably the first time I was able to kind of make six figures off of food. Everybody at home, everything is closed, people got money, and it's just me. For the first 2 weeks, I kind of shut it down. I didn't even know what I was gonna do. Should I keep going? You don't know what the hell going on. But it blew up really majorly. Like during the
And this
pandemic.
was before the food truck.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This
So
was
you
like
you was able to make six figures without having an in-person location.
no in-person location. During the
That's dope.
pandemic, I kind of got all of my, not all of them, but most of my celebrity clients. Everybody was at home. A lot of people live in Houston that play in the NFL that play for teams that you ain't even know. And word of mouth kind of introduced me to one person. You go cook for his family, and now I got people in Louisiana that play in the NFL, and they're trying to, get me to travel out there to cook for their family. Everybody on quarantine and this and this and that. I did a lot of
Gotcha.
cooking, no food truck, no nothing. A bunch of traveling, bunch of
Gotcha.
driving, going in stores every day.
Okay, yeah, kind of, as much as you feel comfortable sharing on that stuff, like, that's interesting. I feel like talk about like how you got like one celebrity client and then how that kind of snowballed and.
Yeah, so social media. Everybody kind of like I said, it has access to you, so you never know who's following you. And I had like one player from the Steelers that was following me, and he ended up ordering some food during the
Man, shout him
pandemic.
out. He paid for some food, man. Shout him out.
Eric Ebron from the
All right.
Steelers. Yeah, Pro Bowler. He still a good friend today. He retired now, but
Okay.
yeah. Eric Ebron led to Terrell Edmonds to Marcus Allen, like all of the Steelers players pretty much. And I still deal with all these people today. And once they posted on their story, like my DMs just blow up. Hey, I seen Eric. He had some king crab. Can I get it right now?
Gotcha.
Eric pre-ordered those, so y'all gonna have to catch me next time.
Gotcha. So you never reached out to none of these people. They just somehow saw your content and just started reaching out, and then one person led to another.
Yeah. I never reached out to nobody.
Okay. Any cool stories as far as that stuff? Like maybe somebody invited you out or something?
Cool stories. I don't know if I could tell most of them.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you can,
Nah, I mean, I guess it's a cool story. Just recently, maybe last weekend, like I said, Eric Ebron, he was like one of my first people. Now most of the days he's like on the golf course. He messages me, texts me at 8 in the morning. Hey, you want to come to the golf course? Yeah, I check it out. It's way in the Woodlands. It's an hour and a half away. Nigga, I might not make it.
Might not never. I feel you. All right, so yeah, touching on that too, like any like funny or like any mess up type of stories, anything that happened where like, it didn't go as planned kind of thing.
Oh yeah, like as you're coming up, or even not, I don't even want to say as you're coming up. If you're on Instagram, you're gonna always get people that message you and they want to exchange your services for promo. You feel me?
Talk about it.
For promo, I had like a few little reality stars hit me up and they're like, "Hey, can you cater this and this and that? Can you come cater my photo shoot?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, how much you pay? Well, we're gonna shout you out on our page." And that's it. Oh no!
So on that though, like, because I feel like in some opportunities it might be worth it to take that.
But
like,
this wasn't one that was worth it. Like they wasn't really.
Gotcha.
They wasn't gonna get me no notoriety. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like,
it would have just been you just working and not.
Yeah. I'd have been slaving all day, and that would have been it.
Okay. Any like, because that's something else I like to touch on too is like the cancels or like returns, refunds and stuff. Like, talk about how like people will order food, you didn't like planned your week for this, spent money maybe, and then maybe somebody didn't purchase or wanted to lower the order.
I was about to say that kind of happens. Luckily, I haven't had any like I got 0 cancels on Stripe. Luckily, I know a lot of people they don't get to go through that. They have people just try to get their bread back. But I haven't went through that. But of course I have people tell me, yeah, I need you for this and that. Can you do this? Can you cook for this? And I plan it, and I'm like, yeah. And they say, well, I'm gonna hit you back this day, and you don't hear from them. So now I have like a consultation fee. I used to talk for free, but like I said, you got 1,000 people in your DM, and you're trying to work at the same time. It's kind of hard to get back to everybody, and it's kind of hard to see who really serious. So for people who are serious in booking, I started to begin charging like a consultation fee. When you let people know that, some people are gonna be with it, some people not. Some people might even feel offended by it, but it's just the cost of doing business. I can't be there for every one of y'all if y'all aren't potential clients,
No, that's a gem because it like you said, like for your business, you gotta kind of find a system that works for that, like to eliminate those issues. So definitely like as far as that though, like have you had any people like maybe negative publicity, people like, oh, I bought from him and look at my plate, look at this, I had hair in it, or stuff like that?
Nah. I haven't had that yet. I had like a girl like buy some food from me, but I guess she liked me or something, and I wasn't trying to like her like that. And she kind of made like an issue. Not about the food, but she was just like, yeah, don't buy nothing from him. Damn, it ain't my
That's crazy. Girl.
Yeah, I done had that.
I feel you. Gotcha. Okay, so any core things, advice as far as like what you would say to somebody? Because I actually had another chef Quee. I don't know if you heard of her. She do plates in Houston too. But any tips as far as like kind of like core things to get to more of a consistent income doing what you do?
Shit, just keep going, keep grinding, keep posting content. That content can take you as far as Instagram can, and Instagram takes you all around the world. Like I got followers from everywhere, and I want to say like that content is pretty much what keeps me going in like the business alive. So yeah, just keep going. Like even if you don't feel like posting, you don't feel like dealing with it, just make a little video, do something. Just got to keep going because I didn't been wanting to quit a few times, and shit, if I did, I wouldn't be where I am.
Heard that. And yeah, on the content, any like core things, tips as far as like things to remember when you doing your content? Because if you're doing 20 million views on anything across, on a platform, is like you kind of know something. You got something working on there. So, any tips as far as like things to remember on Instagram when posting food content, like
Quality videos. I want to say editing, but I don't really do too much editing. Just post quality content. Make good looking plates. That'll really blow you up because there's people who don't even cook. They're not chefs. They're not nothing, but they make a good looking plate and they just takes them off. 20 million views or something on one post. So
gotcha.
good content. Just keep making good content. Good lighting. Get you a good phone and run it up.
Heard that. All right, and then any downsides or like cons as far as like you said you made six figures, so it's obviously you doing well for yourself. But talk about the downsides of like being an entrepreneur. Like you make good money, but your weekends might be, or you might, what I'm saying. Talk about that part.
Yeah, man. Being a chef, I say you got to celebrate Valentine's Day, on Side Chick Day. You got to celebrate it the next day. You feel me? Because I just spent my whole Valentine's Day going from event to event to event. You
Probably
got
most holidays now, right?
Yeah, yeah. There you go. You working all the major holidays. You're working. You feel me? So you got to just. That's one of the downsides. You got to limit yourself. My birthday next month, and I'm pretty much booked up all May, except for the week of my birthday. But I got people still asking me, hey, can I book you for this day and this day? But you got to just really kind of get to a level where you can focus and put yourself first, because you're gonna be working, especially if you're good at what you're doing, and you got to accept it because at some point, you prayed to be busy, and you just got to take that shit now.
Definitely. And what would you say your work-life balance is? Like how many hours a week would you say you work compared to, a corporate job, you might work 40 hours, but in business you make the money, but you gonna work, you might work more than 40 hours in your business,
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of it differs every week, just dealing with 1,000 something people, like just 1,000. I just want to say like 1,000 people at once, everybody contacting you. Like when I finish this, I'm about to go start smoking like 160 pounds of meat for tomorrow. This is gonna be like a day and a half process. So this is hours on hours,
What's that for?
I got booked for an event, a 16-year-old birthday party, and yeah, man, they got like 200-300 pounds of meat, ribs, chicken, and I got to start smoking this today
man,
for it to be ready for tomorrow. Yeah,
definitely. All right, so yeah, any goals you got, over the next 2, 3, 4 years that you want to build towards, things you want to, make happen over the next few years?
Yeah, just keep growing the business. Eventually, maybe a brick and mortar. I launched the app a while ago, maybe like a year ago. I got an app now, and the app has really kind of helped make it to where I don't have to talk to everybody. Now you can just, it's on my phone. You can download it on Apple or Google Play Store, the Food Plug HTX. Just put that, and that's really helped. I dropped the ebook last year. Right now, I'm just focusing more just on building the brand, and like I said, eventually getting a brick and mortar, maybe depending on how it looks logistically. And
Gotcha.
yeah, just keep going. Just keep going.
Heard that. And the cookbook, I mean the ebook is the cookbook?
Yeah, I got a cookbook.
Gotcha. Okay, on the app too, just because I hadn't even thought of that, but like, how did you get that set up? Like, where'd the idea come from? How much did it cost to get that kind of going? Like,
Yeah, so I didn't even have an idea about it. Like I never even fathomed it. And one day I just get a DM, and it was from a tech company in Memphis, Tennessee, and they were asking me, if I was interested in developing an app for my business. They were trying to tell me like how it could help and this and that. And of course, I want to know what's the initial startup fee. And the guy was like, "Shoot, there is no initial fee. We want to work with you." And I think I sent them like $50. $50 to take care of just some coding or something. And we ended up developing the app from there. And I've had it like running for about a year. Now, monthly, you know, you got to pay every month to kind of keep it on the app stores and stuff like that. But
Gotcha.
realistically, you know, the money you make from it is way more than what you're going to pay to keep it on the app store.
Gotcha. And you want to shout them out at all?
Yeah, Express Tech Creations. That's their name. Memphis, Tennessee.
Got it. All right, cool. So to wrap up the show, any other entrepreneurs you know personally in the Houston area you want to shout out or give some love to?
Yeah, my friends at 333 Tax and Notary Services. They specialize in taxes, notary, mobile notary, loan signing, on-site specialists, stuff like that. So y'all can check them out. 333 Tax and Notary Service LLC.
Got it. Shout out to them. And then any advice for like a high school junior, senior, maybe a college freshman as far as like career advice is kind of like picking a path, like, you know, the general consensus is kind of just go to college and figure it out. But, you know, you're going to spend a lot of money figuring it out. So kind of like, you know, any advice as far as that, figuring it out?
Yeah, just keep growing and going. You know, don't limit yourself. You never know what you're interested in until you try it. You know, just keep trying different shit and figure something that you know, that you are passionate about, something that you figure like you can do every day. Because anybody can choose to go to school and do. I went to college. I went to school for visual communication. I was an artist. Feel me? I was
Where you
gonna
went to
draw.
school?
American Intercontinental. This was on the
Gotcha.
Southwest, but yeah, I went to school for that, and I ain't really used it. I use it kind of, you know, developing everything on my app, the logo, everything I've drawn myself, you know. So
Okay.
I guess that kind of helps. But yeah, just
Gotcha.
focus on something and just keep trying to figure shit out.
Definitely heard that. And yeah, go ahead and drop your social website, the app, or anything where people can find you if they want to work with you and stuff.
Oh yeah, you can catch me at the Food Plug HTX. And the app is the same name, the Food Plug HTX.
Heard that. And yeah, definitely if you watching or listening to this and got anything from it at all, definitely give him a follow. Go like some of his content and show him some love. And for me, if you could thumbs up this video, I'd appreciate it. If you really want to support, drop a plant emoji in the comments. That'll help with the algorithm. Appreciate you for coming on, bro.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.